The only thing I like more than Dexter is my home brand dark passenger costume, and the only thing I like more than that is Hamilton. So let me tell you, when I found out that this episode was a fun play on words of Hamilton's song and the episode title is The Kill Room Where It Happens, I lost my mind. I actually got so excited and just overwhelmed with absolute joy from a thing that is very small, very insignificant in a lot of ways. I just found it so funny. Just so very funny, and it filled me with such a great sense of anticipation, because I'm like, if the episode in which Angel finds Dexter in a kill room about or mid or post killing someone in a kill room, and the episode title is a Hamilton reference, just so cool and funny and awesome. Honestly, and this isn't an insult to the episode, because I thought it was a very, very good episode, but the episode title is my favorite part of this episode. And I think that probably says more about how much I like Hamilton than anything else. There was another thing in this episode, Hamilton related, that really grinded my gears. So, Mr. Modern Family serial killer, like, sure, killing innocent women is horrible. That's one thing. Disliking Hamilton? That's another thing entirely. Now, it might seem from the words that I've said in the way that I've said it, that I think that disliking Hamilton is actually worse than killing innocent women, and I just want to clarify. I stand by that statement. Hey guys, I'm Jax, but you can call me Mr. Passenger, and this is my spoiler review for Dexter Resurrection, Season 1, Episode 8, The Kill Room Where It Happens. So this week we focus on Angel, aka our Aaron Burr, the man who wants to be in the kill room where it all happens. And it is such a great episode. In a lot of ways, this does feel like a bit of an in-between episode between kind of that formulaic taking down a serial killer of the week from the secret society of serial killers, and then what's presumably going to be Angel-focused double finale situation stuff going on. And there wasn't a kill this week, and there's been so many kills. He's taken out the secret society of serial killers way quicker than I thought he ever would. I know there's only 10 episodes, and there's so many of them, but it still feels like he's absolutely plowed through them. Like, it really shows that, like, when you mess with the goat, you're gonna get the horns. Man, it'd be fun to see Dexter kill someone with a horn, like a ram's horn, like on a wall or something. There could be a ram's horn display ornament in one of Tyrion's many mansions, so that would be a pretty crazy way for him to kill Tyrion. Or even Uma Thurman. Really, I just want him to kill someone with horns. But regardless of the fact that it did feel like a bit of an in-between episode, it was another great episode of Dexter Resurrection. AKA a 45-minute ad for AirPods. If you lose or have your AirPods stolen, don't worry. You can track them anywhere, anytime. Think your long-lost best friend / colleague who until recently you thought was dead is maybe a notorious serial killer who killed your lover? Don't worry, you can track them. AirPods, the perfect thing to place in a car to track somebody. Just as long as they don't look exactly where you put them in the car. Silent, secure, tracking. If you want to use it to track somebody, you can. AirPods. In a lot of ways, it did feel like an unnecessarily long ad for AirPods, a thing that literally everybody has and doesn't need advertising. The product sells itself. They're so good. Also, just to be clear, this isn't an ad for AirPods. As I said, they just sell themselves. The product is that good. I am not sponsored by Apple. Unless, Apple, you're listening, then I would love to sponsor AirPods. I think, once again, you don't need to advertise because the product sells itself. They are so good. Seriously. Everyone, AirPods, right? Not saying that I had one AirPod in listening to the Hamilton soundtrack whilst I watched the Dexter episode, barely paying attention because my AirPods are so good. And at one point I put the second AirPod in and then boom, noise cancelling. Couldn't even hear what was going on. I had the subs on, obviously, so I could do a half-baked review that was mostly just an ad for AirPods. Please, Apple, look at me. I'm so good at advertising. Give me some of your money. Please, please. Apple, I know that you're watching. Okay, so this isn't like an issue with the episode, as I said, great episode, and I understand things just need to happen sometimes for plot and whatever. But I just kind of feel like if I was Dexter, a serial killer, and my ex-best friend was in my car and was essentially like, I'm coming for you, bro. Bro, this is us having our Hank Walter White moment where we're all like, bro, I'm coming for you. It's on. One might say like a Donkey Kong. I would maybe, if when he got out of my car, be like, check the car? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've seen Breaking Bad and they do so much stuff with tracking the cars and that. And this just kind of has such interesting parallels because it's so similar. I don't know. Maybe Dexter hasn't seen the show Breaking Bad. God forbid Dexter lives in a world in which Breaking Bad isn't a show, because then what's the point in living? So sure, let's just presume, for hypothetical sake, that Dexter hasn't seen Breaking Bad. I still think he would be paranoid enough to just check the car. Why am I more paranoid than Dexter is in this situation? I'm not even a serial killer. I don't have anything to hide. Trust me. But hey, Dexter's an idiot and he's super chill and he's got himself in some sticky situations. But luckily for him, the cops don't think he's the serial killer. Even though I feel like Detective Quirky is constantly looking at a computer, looking at all the things, being like, seems like Dexter's the Bay Harbor Butcher. As soon as we get to a final big explosive moment where Dexter's got Bobby from The Sopranos on his kill table, doesn't kill him, was never planning to kill him, which thank God, because at a certain point I'm like, man, I don't know if this guy fits his code. He's being like a good dad to his son, which is nice and fun, and surprisingly and strangely wholesome. But maybe don't kill the man who's just like a bad guy at his job, because then you're going to have to kill, like, I don't know, 70% of the people in the world. So Angel busts in and finds the kill room, but Dexter's gone, and Bobby from The Sopranos just barrels over Angel like he's a bowling ball, and Angel's a pin. Bowling reference, do you remember when they used to bowl? I do. Sweet innocent times. Yeah, I don't know. I know Angel's like retired and he's like a bit older now and all that stuff. Pretty bad cop work. If I'm being like uber critical. Like if I was his boss and I heard about that, I'd be like, what do you mean you let the guy go? How? Oh, he just ran over you. You with the gun. Okay, alright. Yeah. What are you doing, man? I don't know. It feels like it's all these kind of stepping stones. And I understand that him and Dexter aren't going to have the big final confrontation right now in this episode because there's 2 episodes to go. Even though I find that very disappointing because I would love the idea of Angel and Dexter meeting in the kill room where it happened. Oh, fun stuff. So yeah, very disappointing just on the episode title, Hamilton of it all. But I understand like a building block of that. But I feel like the way it plays out after when the cops rock up and they're just looking around, man, like, bro, I don't know. Like, all this stuff's everywhere, but, like, you didn't catch the guy. You didn't even see Dexter. And he's like, look at the AirPods. And the disconnect goes, and he's like, oh. And he's like a bumbling buffoon. And I'm like, you could clearly be like, hey, I've been following the AirPods, and now the connection is lost. This is where, like, the ad for AirPods would, like, stop. In a lot of ways, it's not an ad for AirPods at the end. Like, I guess they're just hoping you've, like, already bought your AirPods up until that point where Dexter like slams his foot on them and just smashes them, and you see that they are quite destructible. Even though I would argue not really, because like I have dropped them before and they're totally fine. Like if anything, it's actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. It's still a good ad because he has to hit it like several times with his foot, and that's like serial killer who's very hangry. Thank you, Ghost Harry. Very, very funny. Oh my god, that's might be the funniest thing that's happened in this show so far. Ghost Harry saying the word hangry in relation to Dexter not getting his urge filled by killing someone. Funny. So yeah, I'm actually back on board. I actually kind of love that because I'm telling you, man, and I'm telling you, you've also got AirPods. Everyone's got AirPods. Once again, I don't know why they did a 45-minute ad for AirPods because AirPods sell themselves and literally everybody already has one because they're so good. Man. I keep getting distracted and thinking about how good my AirPods are and just, yeah. It was a game changer. The day I bought them, I was like, had my big headphones like I was Mrs. Monk in this episode listening to her headphones, and I just threw them to the ground. And I put those AirPods in, never looked back. Okay, I have realized the time. I'm getting looks from my Ghost Harry, and he's gone too much AirPod talk. It's devolved into nonsense at this point. All right. No more AirPod talk. Probably. So I do not like what happens at the end in terms of, I don't know, it makes me very nervous about the setup of what's going to happen with Angel, because he's got the kill room there, but the detective's looking at him being like, I don't believe you, bro. And Angel's just like, woo, 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 and I'm just like, oh. I do not like the idea that we're potentially, and hopefully it's just a red herring, just more stuff to play out. I do not like the idea that Dexter could potentially frame Angel and make him look like he's gone crazy and it's all in his head, or even maybe he's the Bay Harbor Butcher or just something like that. I just really need this show to commit to the consequence of Dexter doing his dark passenger thing, being the Bay Harbor Butcher. There needs to be a personal consequence, and he needs to actually have to physically himself kill a friend, an innocent friend. He needs to go that fight. This show needs to push Dexter into that space and force him to kill him, or turn himself in and be arrested. There needs to be a hard line on that. And I just feel like the way those detectives looked at Angel at the end really makes me nervous for what they're potentially setting up. And honestly, that puts like a bit of a dampener on the whole episode. It makes me very, God, I hope that they do something. Like, I don't want Angel to die. I love Angel. I kind of think he does need to die. I think for this show to really kind of redeem New Blood and redeem what they did in Dexter season 8, I think that needs to be consequence. And Dexter needs to be forced to kill a friend. And killing Angel, of all the characters, like we saw Quinn again, so great to see Quinn, but him killing Quinn just wouldn't have that emotional, devastating weight and pain. And I really need that to happen, I feel like, for this show to kind of do what I want it to do. I don't know. I'm curious what other people think on that, on the whole Angel of it all. I am truly hoping it's just a massive red herring and it's just going to be more stuff to play out. But, it really, it's the first time this show in any of these episodes has made me nervous that they're not going to take the plunge. God, I hope I'm wrong. So I did find it rather surprising that Mr. Modern Family serial killer actually fully just got away. Like, he literally drove away scot-free. And I'm really hoping that him escaping like that is like a setup for like a potential kind of reappearance in a potential season 2. I think that's really interesting. I would love that. I really hope this is going to go for a season 2. It feels like there's way too many spinning plates, way too much going on for them to wrap it up in 2 episodes. So I really do hope the plan is to do multiple Dexter Resurrection seasons. At this point, it does seem like that's the case, especially with this and also the New York Ripper. I think with just so much kind of teasing and setup and just mentions of the New York Ripper, and yet it kind of appears at this point that it's definitely not going to be Tyrion. It couldn't possibly be Uma Thurman. All the other crazy theories and stuff, it's probably not going to be any of that. I think, and I'm hoping, that it's just lots and lots of really juicy setup for a season 2 villain to be the New York Ripper. And I think that would be really, really cool and a good way to kind of make them seem like this really big foe, because Dexter Resurrection is kind of up the stakes. There's not one serial killer. It's kind of like a secret society of serial killers. There's so many this season, so a way to kind of make it more extreme next time and not feel like we're going back down to just one old serial killer is to have that serial killer be one that they've been teasing all season long. So that, along with Modern Family Guy just leaving and not being killed, I'm really hoping for a season 2. I also think Tyrion dying this season like works for the structure of the show, but I also would love if he continued. Tyrion is so good in this show. His acting is so exceptional in this show. His beard is glorious and magnificent. I'm actually enjoying Tyrion so much. Almost for a second, I was like, should I rewatch Game of Thrones? And then I quickly remembered that that would be a complete waste of time, and it has already taken 10 years of my entire life and ruined and wasted them. But that's how good his acting was. For a second, I forgot all of that and was like, I'd love to rewatch Game of Thrones. I won't, obviously. I'd rather just stare at a wall and do nothing for 10 years. But yeah, Tyrion, very, very good. I love the scene with him and Uma Thurman, where Uma Thurman's just like, I just got a bad vibe about him. What can I say? And I'm like, that's classic. She's just essentially Dokes, and Tyrion is essentially every other character in the show who's like, what? A bad vibe about Dexter? Dexter's the best! And I just love that. Like that one scene they had was essentially just the whole first 2 seasons of Dexter, where Uma Thurman is just Dokes being like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I just got bad vibes, bro. And it turns out those bad vibes have somehow, in the interim from that scene and the final cliffhanger scene, they have either figured out that he's not Red and he's not the Dark Passenger, but is in fact the Dark Passenger being Dexter, or it's just like, I don't know, they just figured out he's got a son. I'm not sure, but that cliffhanger was amazing. This episode kind of ends with lulling you into a false sense of security. Dexter's eating a delicious steak. He's having a wholesome scene with his son. His son's like, shucks, Dad, it's actually pretty funny that you clearly scared and spooked that guy. At least he's going to be a good boss, renter man, whatever he is now. He's going to be good at his job or whatever. And Dexter's just like, ha ha ha. Being the Dark Passenger is fun and cool and nice. And then Tyrion rocks up and he's like, got yourself a son, do you? And it's like, that's peak cliffhanger, because I'm just like, what does that mean? Does he know? Does he not know? How is this going to play out? I think a really fun subversion of expectation of like what you kind of think might happen if you found out Dexter kind of sabotaged and killed everyone and kind of ruined the big secret society of serial killers. I think it'd be really cool if he's like, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he's like, yeah, I am. And Tyrion's just like a giddy kid in like a candy store. And he's just like, oh, that's so fun and cool. Actually, screw all those serial killers. They're amateurs. You're the goat. Here's a giant goat statue. Please don't do anything with those horns to me later. And I just think it would be really fun if Tyrion just loves the fact that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher and doesn't care about all the stuff he's done all season. And he's just so in awe of being in the Bay Harbor Butcher's presence. I think that would be a really fun route to go. Who knows? Maybe he'll never find out until he's on the kill table and he goes, oh shit, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher. That's crazy, bro. But I really would love that to be like the whole next episode. Yeah, just, very, very exciting stuff. Let's pretend that the Angel stuff doesn't hint at what it's going to hint. And apart from that, it's all glorious fun stuff. Anything else? Dexter is a bad friend, and I feel like if I told someone some kind of dark secret past thing, like I was, say, I don't know, a child soldier against my will, I would just kind of presume that my friends would not tell my children. That's just me. Dexter's just bad at social interactions, which actually, now I'd say that out loud, is fair, because he is a serial killer. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want to hear a man vaguely say some things he thought about Dexter Resurrection, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, comment below. I would love to know, what did you think about this episode of Dexter?